Jennifer, for the next question that you've been looking into, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct is a Texas state agency responsible for investigating allegations of judicial misconduct and of disability or abuse or whatever you want to call it. However, many of us have criticized the agency as being largely ineffective. I know personally I've submitted 6 complaints. I write reports for the federal government at times. I know how to write a report, and they're all just dismissed. So do you agree with the assessment that the State Commission on Judicial Conduct is ineffective? And what shortcomings does the agency have? What challenges does it face? How can it actually instill confidence in the people that it will investigate judicial misconduct?
So right now, there is no confidence it will instill anything. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct, I learned with the case with Rustin, is pretty much non-existent. They have 12 staff members and for the state of Texas, and I've canvassed the entire United States. The other states that are comparable to our state have as many as 52. So that is one thing that we are trying to work with our legislators to get raised. Another thing that I discovered is that when you file a report, you file it with the staff members, and then they bring these up to the commission, which meets 4 times a year. The commission is put on by 6 appointed by the Supreme Court, 5 by the governor, and 2 by the state bar. We want to get this where it's all public members. This is done in several states in the United States, and we want it here as well. The other thing, let's see, we want every conviction, well, we want every case that is filed with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct to be public. Right now, there have been 27,000 cases filed with the commission in the last 20 years, and they have only published about 215 of those. That is like 0.4%. That is not okay. We want it all to be public. It is not uncommon for it to be public. I think there are 6 states that make them public, so we want that here as well. We are also trying to get audio and video in every courtroom. We want it to be easily obtained by the parties of the suit. We want all judges to be required to validate and publish their rulings in all matters of the mandatory finding of facts and conclusion of law for every substantive final decision made. That is done in the criminal courts, but not in the civil. We want judges to not be allowed to have unreported in-camera hearings, private meetings. It's not uncommon for judges to rely on the attorneys more than the parties, and so if they're going to do that, we want a court reporter in while they're talking with them. And judges should not be allowed to endorse. Judges should be allowed to endorse in a court lower than their own. We know that judges they can see what's happening in the courtroom next to them. There's nothing that they can say publicly about it, so we want them to be able to endorse. And what was my other question?
You know, right now you're actually at time, so that's okay. But just to let you know, Jennifer and I have interviewed Jennifer. She's on my YouTube channel. You can look up Jeff Morgan, Jennifer Lundy, Texans for Judicial Accountability, and you'll probably see about 6 or 7 or 8 videos there as well.
Yes, and I do have a couple of judges here that I will mention with my next question, so I don't want them to leave.
Thank you.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Could be.
The final part, though, was about what challenges they face. So that could be like funding issues, but we'll talk about that later on. You can talk with Jennifer privately.